right, everybody, it's your favorite IFBB pro bodybuilder, Seth Feroce, here with two-time Miss Fitness Olympia, Missy Truscott. This is her face the entire time, smiling, beautiful, bubbly. Everybody here loves her. It has been awesome. Thank you for coming in. It's really cool. But we are going to do shoulders today. We're going to go back and forth. She's going to put me through a couple of the routines that she does, a couple of the sets, the intense stuff, and I'm going to do the same to her. She trained with John Meadows, somebody who is, I mean, if you don't like John Meadows, you can go fuck yourself. Somebody is a legend in our sport and training people, so super excited. Yeah. It's going to be a good time.
This is going to be a good workout.
Yeah, she's what, 1,000 mgs of caffeine for the day?
At least.
We've seen her with like 3 or 4 different Just Works in her hand.
Yeah. We got a lot accomplished though. So.
I know, I'm pumped. But we're going to get into it.
Let's do it.
Did you see the gym?
When like hockey players hear the national anthem, they get all like their heart races, and I walked in there, I was like, oh shit.
You were a level 10?
Yeah.
You were level 10 gymnast?
It was different though back in the day. They didn't have levels. It was called like provincial, and then I was working my way to like national in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's awesome how like supportive you are as a father to your daughters in gymnastics, because a lot of dads kind of take the backseat when it's a sport like that. And just seeing you like showing her on your Instagram, just being like so supportive, builds so much confidence in them.
That's why we built it. We built gymnastics for young females.
Yeah.
To grow up and be confident in themselves. Oh man, you're gonna make me wear a fucking elbow brace and everything. I'm gonna have to get very serious right now. I think I might get my ass kicked. Like I have to.
When you worked with Hani, did you go and like train with him?
No, I was piss poor broke. I had no money.
Okay. So now he just comes up and sees you.
Yeah, I went and saw him. I went and saw him a couple times, and I stayed at his house with him. But then, whenever we'd get a chance, he'd come into town for the Pittsburgh, or come in town for North Americans or anything like that. We'd meet up as often as possible. He was like a big brother to me. Treated me like a little brother. All right, so we're gonna go back and forth with exercises. We're starting with presses. She's up first. She's calling the shots. So what are we doing?
Yeah, so we're gonna do like 8 to 10 reps here, because I am kind of in my off season still, so I'm pushing like heavier weight right now.
I'm not.
Not working so much on like the drop sets and everything, but I'm into that today if you want to do it. Elbows or wrists?
I like elbows.
Okay, I do.
I never understood the wrist thing.
Me either.
I don't know why people do it. I see people do it in the videos. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. Okay, so in bodybuilding, we're not fucking powerlifting. We're bodybuilding. So the goal isn't like, oh, you're a pussy if you get help on the weight.
Right.
Because it doesn't fucking matter. We're just trying to look better.
Yeah.
So it's like, in bodybuilding, I've always kept my hands on my partners or whoever I'm squatting their elbows.
Yeah.
So I could feel when they lose, like when they're failing. And I'm like, there we go. So if it's like, I can feel what it's like when they're really strong.
Yep.
And then as they begin to fail, you're like, oh, there it is. So I'm just going to continue to help them so that they benefit from the spot.
Right.
Like I'm not, keep going, you fucking pussy. No, I want to like make sure they're moving and making the gains. That's what bodybuilding is. It's not powerlifting.
Yeah.
Do you call them side laterals? What do you call them?
Yeah. Lateral,
No,
side
no, no.
laterals?
What do you call? No. This has been a thing. People
Oh,
have been
really?
fucking with me on the internet. I'm curious. What do you call
Yeah, side
these?
laterals.
You call them side laterals?
Yeah.
So I called them dumbbell side laterals my entire career.
Yeah.
On my notebooks, dumbbell side laterals.
Yeah.
I'm really good at this exercise. And then people in the comments like years ago on YouTube were like, dude, you're calling them dumbbell side sides. And I'm like, I am, aren't I? Because a lateral raise is a lateral raise. So I call them dumbbell side sides. I'm like, he's busting my balls. I'm like, that's a good call. You know how everybody like has their way of doing things.
Yeah.
And I don't like to criticize people on like what they're doing, especially if they have great cap delts. Whatever the fuck you're doing works.
Yep.
For me, it was always like I get into a rhythm.
Yeah.
Like I get into a rhythm and I use the cheating or the body English, however you want to put it, that rhythm to move heavier weights, because that's how I was able to really cap my delts off. That's something everybody's like, your delts are wild. And I'm like, I've always like I'm hugging a tree, okay? And then I just put them at my sides. So if I hug a tree, then I put them at my sides, and then I just go like this right here. And then when I come down, like I'm like getting into a most muscular, so I had big round delts. That's what I've been doing since I was a teenager. Like I hug a tree, so then my arms are like this. They'd come down, so they wouldn't be straight, they'd be bent, and then I just come up. And then if I move them ever so slightly forward, they're still sides, but you'll see me as I continue to do them, I'll go from like right out to the sides, and then you'll start to see me creep forward and in, and then go back. So I'm doing it the whole time because I'm thinking of a three-dimensional delt.
Oh, yeah.
So as I'm getting heavier in weight, I still do it. If I get 8 to 10 or 12 reps, like the whole time I'm still like, it's never in the same exact spot. I'm moving it just because that's me getting used to this weight, and it's just what worked for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, I like that.
But I never understood this.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's boring too.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get fucking jacked. I want to
Yeah.
do something intense. I can't fly away. It's just not for me. It might work. It might be better from a science standpoint, but I fucking hate it. What do you want to do? Let's do sets.
Okay.
So that way it's not not a full, run the rack.
Yeah.
John actually did a video on this. This is whenever he and I got in talks of actually training together one day.
Okay.
He's one of the only guys I haven't trained with that I regret never training with. Because I love drop sets, I love supersets, giant sets. I just like intense shit, and I love the volume. So when I was younger, I would just do, rather than a drop set, I'm like, what's another way to force me past, like, you know how like a failure set, you push to failure, you can kind of quit when you want to, depending on who type of person you are.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want something that forces me to go past failure. So I would do set. I will pick a weight and I will go to absolute failure with it. And then I will cut that weight in half and do double the reps.
Oh, okay.
So if I do the 70s right now on side laterals and I get 10, that means I got to do the 35s for 20.
Okay.
Now, I might only get to like 18. If I only get to 18, that means I have to put them down, get my breath, and then finish the 2. So if I only get, like, say I'm doing incline dumbbell presses with like the 140s, and I get 15, well, now I got to do the 70s for 30. And it doesn't matter how long it takes me to do it, but I got to get those 30 fucking reps. John, he did the video, and he gave the scientific evidence behind it that it's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know any of that stuff. I just knew it was fucking hard.
Yeah.
I like doing a lot of the shit you don't do right now. So we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
So, rear delts, for me, like they're such a small muscle group, a lot of people have shitty rear delts.
Yeah.
So, Honey beat into my head that no matter how small the body part, still very important to hit it so you're a complete bodybuilder. So like on rear delts, small movements are needed. You know how everybody does rear delts and they're like fucking all the way back?
Yeah.
And then they still have shitty small rear delts?
Yeah.
So I found out that whenever I do bent over dumbbell raises, like out here like this, with heavier weight, but a small movement, I just got them to fire. And I got them to fire and grow.
Yeah.
But with me, I don't like doing like 6 or 8 reps of anything. I fucking hate it. I like volume. I like a lot of it.
Yeah.
So I would pair them with this small movement with a heavy weight, like 65-pound dumbbells I'd move up to right here. And I wouldn't be going like big, because if I go back too far, now I'm engaging my back and not my rear delts. So then I would do that, and immediately after it, I'd superset them with face pulls, but I don't pull to my face. I would bend over like this and put my head between my arms and then pull down like I'm doing a rear double bicep.
Oh.
You know how people from behind will go like this and then they'll come down and up?
Oh, yeah.
So, we're bodybuilders. So, this is that movement right here, and I would pull with my rear delts that are already full of blood and engaged from that.
Yeah.
So I pull back right to here and hang out here and just beat the shit out of my rear delts. People do this. I'm like, I feel them, but I'm not feeling them like I want to.
Yeah.
Like I'm hitting them good enough. So I was like, okay, so everything in bodybuilding is posing. Mm-hmm. So if I'm here and I pull down like everybody does for a rear double bicep and then pop them out, that's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
Heavy, fill them up with blood, and then squeeze the ever-loving shit out of them with this. Rear delts.
Let's do it.
Yeah. See, I'm not going like, I'm not going all the way back here, because whenever I begin to get tired, my back will take over. So I'm like, I just literally remove it from there, engaging, and I'll pull with my pinkies.
Okay.
So I don't usually hold with my index fingers. I'm usually like this, just on here and just right in there. And no lats. Do not let your lats engage whenever you're pulling back.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Right here.
Okay.
See how they engaged?
Yeah.
See them? That the whole time. Yep. Let them come all the way together now. There you go.
Oh, shit.
There you go.
Like elbows.
Yep, right there like that. See how you're feeling it right there?
Yeah.
Now pull back. Right there. Squeeze. Yep. All right, fronts. Now, whenever I would do these, like I was telling you earlier about like the Arnold pose where he was sitting on a bench like this, and his front delts were all nasty looking and shredded.
Yeah.
So whenever I would do these when I was young, and I'd start to get lean, and I'm like, oh look, there they are, like all kind of cool cuts and shit.
Yeah.
So doing this, like I'd hold the dumbbell in different directions. Like I envision like the most muscular. So whenever I'm doing them, I'm going to, so I'd hold the dumbbells in a way to get the most out of it. So I'm like, how can I position myself so that like I see this nasty feathered front delt,
Yep.
and it comes into a most muscular. So, because if you're up here, like, I don't know, if I'm down here and I hold up and then stand up, that's how high it would actually be. And nobody does front delt raises all the way up to here.
Right.
So on certain, I'd be like, so I'd lean down into it and the dumbbells would hang, and then I just do a front raise up into it. And I'd see more definition than if I was here doing it.
Right. And you get a little momentum too.
Yeah, so I do variations of both,
Okay.
and whenever I do drop sets, I would do that. And I know we might do one drop set.
Okay.
Man, I know one thing. I am fucking super white.
It's because I go to spray tan.
Did you? So no bullshit. When you first started on this journey, did you ever think that this was like gonna happen?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. When
That's
I
exciting.
first started, yeah.
You were like, motherfucker, I'm getting it.
Yeah. Like 17, just like watching YouTube and like seeing the top woman at the time who was Adele Garcia.
Yeah.
Who's now like a really good friend of mine.
I remember that.
Yeah, she reigned
Fuck,
for like
dude,
8
she
years.
was killed.
Yeah. So I worked at a hospital, and Matt told me, my husband,
Yeah.
he said, you can resign at the hospital if you promise to do everything in your power to win next year's Olympia. So I quit at the hospital, and then I just focused on competing in the Miss Fitness Olympia, and then I won it that year.
No shit.
Yeah,
Man, what a cool dude.
yeah,
He's in it too, 100%.
100%. Like, helps me with my diet, eats totally healthy, trains, puts me through workouts.
Get the
like,
fuck out of here. He does it all with you during the preps.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's hardcore. I don't want to say he likes when I get to that suffering point, but like there's a point when you're like 1 foot in the grave and you're like, I fucking hate my life.
Yeah.
But you got to get there to like be at the top.
You have to.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I think that that why I tell so many people just to fucking embrace the shit, and you have to go through it at least once. If you want to do a bodybuilding show, I think you should, and you should go to that point where you're like, I don't fucking like anything right now.
Yeah.
I don't like anything, but the one thing that you do like, there's one thing. When you wake up in the morning and you're like, bro,
Oh yeah.
I look nuts.
Yep.
It's this crazy, weird satisfaction that we all get
Yeah.
of being just incredible shape, and you're like, yeah, I'll eat fucking tilapia again.
Yeah. And like
Look
you
at
did
this.
that, you know,
Yeah,
you
and
did it.
nobody can take it away from you.
No.
Not one person can take it from you. It is yours. You own it. It's. I think that everybody needs to embrace that shit.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. For everyone, this is two-time Miss Fitness Olympia, Missy Truscott. Please go follow her on YouTube, Missy Truscott, Instagram, Missy Truscott, and support her by using code Missy on Accent Sledge for 10% off.
Thank you.
So much for this. This was awesome. Stay tuned. We are also filming a podcast this week, which I'm going to ask a ton of questions that I've always been curious about.
Sweet.
And very exciting. So please make sure you guys go follow her, support her. Just an incredible person.
Thank
Everybody
you,
here has
Seth.
said awesome things, so I'm pumped.
Thank you so much, Seth, and thank you, Accent Sledge, for having me out this week. It's been so awesome, and yeah, I can't wait to do the podcast.
Yeah, tons of fun.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Even though it's a female, she will slap her old man on the ass and let him know that she loves him. And have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you.